Hi everyone, welcome to the studio. It's Martin at Meyer Street Records. Let's get mixing. So I hope you're doing well. It's been a little while since maybe I spoke to you, but I've been busy in the studio mixing the Oasis project. So the Oasis project is basically me recording songs that I really like, a nostalgic project of the band that got me into music. So at the start of every project that I ever record, especially this one that I've been planning for a long time, the bit I look forward to the most is definitely having the thing done. So to be honest with you, it's the most enjoyable part. You know, as much as I love recording music and making a production, when you are on your own recording a project, you just want to have it finished at the end, and you just want to really enjoy listening to it on your headphones when you travel, etc. I'm now at the stage on the Oasis project to mix the tracks, and mixing is basically when all those instruments that you recorded, vocals, piano, drums, guitars, keyboards, everything, a tambourine, you can't forget the tambourine, you mix together, you make them balance together, they sound right, it becomes a piece of music as opposed to just individual tracks. I'm going to really briefly go through how I do it and what I'm going to do for this particular track. Today I'm going to mix Wonderwall. The reason I'm going to start with Wonderwall is because it's a song I really know. There's maybe not as many elements to the song as well, it's quite simplistically done, and so just to get me started I'm going to start with that one and see where I go from there. So the first step I always do before any mix is ensure all those tracks are cleaned up, either deleted completely or automated to be quiet when they don't need to be kind of heard. It just cleans up the noise, which I don't want to hear. And here's an example of that. So the start of the song would be here, and then as you go forward, it's quiet, 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 and will fade up at the point of the vocal. Having everything cleaned up certainly makes things easier to mix. The reason for that is you're not going to hear things you don't want to when you come to balance your tracks together. So a bit of preparation goes a long way, that's for sure. So let's play the track. So you might notice all the faders are down, and that's deliberate. There's a pad to start, and there will be some keys eventually. Here we are. There's no EQ on these tracks either, so just so you know. I like to just put together a rough mix. That way I can remember what I'm listening to, what the song's supposed to sound like, before I start twiddling knobs and adding bits, which you might not even need anyway. So there should be a vocal coming now.
Today is gonna be the day.
Very dry vocal.
Gonna throw it back to you.
By dry I mean no EQ, no effect.
By now you should have somehow
It's just me.
realized what you gotta do. I don't believe anybody feels the way I do about you.
So I'll just try and put it into a way as if the performers were playing in the room, so it sounds that way. There's just some drums here,
the fire in your
overheads, add the kick,
and I'm sure you heard it all before. You've never really had it down. I don't believe anybody feels the way I do about you.
Always listening, that's the most important part. Just listen to everything that's being done.
'Cause all the roads we have to
Okay, it just seems a bit quiet there, so there should be some guitar. There's a guitar that fills it out. I've got two guitars here, I believe. Yeah, so I've got one on the right, one on the left. Two different recordings, just pound left and right hard, so then it creates more of a stereo.
You're gonna be the one that saves me.
Nice. Nice kick drum there. You might not hear it through the camera speakers, but sorry, camera microphones. But it's quite a warm kick, and that's dry from the recording. So at this point, I'm happy. It's got a rough mix quite quickly. I forgot to add the bass, but that bass is up now. But I already get a bit annoyed with the vocal because it's so dry. So I'm going to add some reverb to that anyway. So let's just isolate the vocal at the moment. That should come in a second. It's on silent.
Today was gonna be the day, but they'll never throw it back to you.
I'm going to add a bit of
By now, you should have somehow realized what you're not to do.
Well, scary stuff.
I don't believe anybody feels the way I do about you.
Seems a bit over the top, but just from experience, adding stuff to the vocal effect-wise, you might hear it a lot in isolation when it's on its own, but when you add it to a track, you might not hear it as much. So let's bring in the rest of the track and see how it comes across. So this is with effect now on the vocal.
No, we have to walk a winding. And all the lights are like the way of blinding. Yeah, there are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how.
Nice, okay.
I don't know how.
One thing to notice is that I also have some group faders here. Now, group faders are basically the master fader for a group of tracks. So if I have 16 tracks, 20 tracks of drums, it's been done. I can put them all into this group, so I can master control all of that mix I've done already of the drums here. Now that's really handy because sometimes I might just want to isolate the vocal. So remove the vocal just to hear what the music is sounding like, or maybe just hear what the drums are doing without having to change the mix this side. I'll give you an example. So let's kick in here.
Today was gonna be the day.
So let's just whole track. But now I just want to hear the drums. So I can take, there's the drums. Nice. And then I want to hear just the music now. So the guitar will come. Nice. I want to put the drums with that. The drums are pretty big in this track. Bass and vocal.
Yeah, there are many things that I would like to say to you.
So that's
but
that.
I don't know how. I don't know how.
So that's that really. I've put together a mix of the track, but it hopefully gives you an insight to the process I go through. It really is about the music, it's not about the equipment. So I can't stress that enough. So just because there's loads of gear in a studio, it doesn't mean you need to use everything. You know, you can have a play when you're practicing with the recording or just trialing stuff out. But when it comes to mixing, I always just say, bring in exactly what you want to do to the source of the sound, as opposed to just doing something because you feel, oh, I have to because that compressor's there or I've got that effect. So make sure the most important part is that you can hear what you're enjoying and not just adding things for the sake of it, basically. What I definitely will do in a sec is add a double track of the vocal, a duplicate take of the main vocal. So when the chorus kicks in, there's two of them, as opposed to just the one vocal, just to thicken it up, give it a bit more depth. But other than that, I think we've got quite a nice sound going on there. So yeah, pretty chuffed with that. Mix one will definitely be done tonight. Whether it's the final version I keep, I don't know. But for now, thanks for watching. And I really do hope it's given you a bit of an insight to what I do, why I do it when it comes to mixing, and also takes you further on this journey with the Oasis project. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.
We have to walk a winding, and all the lights light the way